Hi, Drew James here from Learn Guitar in London. I want to share with you something that can change the level of success you're seeing with learning to play guitar online. A system that can give you the full confidence to play any beginner's song. In fact, by the first 2 weeks you'll already know 3 songs. Now I know this might seem a little far-fetched, but it really is possible. I've seen it happen with many of my beginner students and I'm really looking forward to sharing it with you. I think many of my students are a lot like you. When they see experienced guitarists play, they want to have that same feeling of confidence and freedom. They want to feel a part of the music rather than just being an observer. They also want to play their favourite songs, but not just that, they want to be able to find any beginner's song online and have the skills and confidence to play it without hesitation. Most importantly, they want to feel like they're progressing and not stuck playing that one song they learnt 2 months ago. Progress, no matter how small, is the mark of a good guitarist. Most of them started learning by using online lessons. Unfortunately, there were so many lessons out there that they didn't know where to begin. On top of that, some teachers went too fast, some presumed they already knew a lot about guitar, and some just didn't cater for how daunting it can be when you first start out. Learning by themselves, even though they had great intentions, started to become overwhelming. They'd already learnt some songs, but they didn't feel confident in how they sounded, and they just weren't sure how to fix this. They didn't want to give up because they'd already made an investment in a guitar and it seemed pointless to let it sit in the corner gathering dust. After hearing these stories time and time again from new students, I decided to take action and make a new online system especially for people like you who are learning by themselves. I wanted to make a unique course that solves these common problems I kept hearing. I also wanted to make a course with a series of lessons that I wish someone had made for me when I was starting to play. A course that contained the songs I love with the core skills and structure I really needed. I also wanted the focus to be on how to practice effectively without getting into bad habits. When learning online, it can be difficult to know where to start. There's a wealth of great lessons out there, but you do need someone to tell you where to begin. If you miss out key skills, which can happen when you're learning by yourself, then this can harm your progress later on. For example, let me tell you a story about John. John had been learning to play by himself for 18 months before he came to my studio for a lesson. He knew quite a few songs and he was getting well past the beginner stages. However, I noticed something about his rhythm guitar. It sounded very harsh and he kept shredding his fingers whenever he was strumming. It turned out that John had been holding the plectrum wrong and he just hadn't realised. It took us 2 months of deliberate back-to-basics practice to get John's playing sounding smooth and easier on his listeners' ears. If John had been shown the correct strumming techniques from his first initial lessons, then he would have saved a lot of time later on. Learning by yourself can be very rewarding, but without lessons that are specially focused on eliminating those common bad habits, you could be making playing the guitar harder than it needs to be. I don't want to put you off learning online. It's much cheaper than having a teacher. It's convenient and there are some great teachers out there. I just want to draw your attention to how important the structure and order is of what you're learning. Ideally, you need a coach. Someone who has been there, done that and got the t-shirt. Someone who knows the most effective way of teaching the core skills and hopefully on top of that they love what they do. Without clear structure and a focused approach, it's going to be a lot harder to master those core beginner skills. Skills that you can use every time you play for the rest of your life. Skills that once you're confident with implementing them, you can transfer to any song. These include good chord knowledge, knowing a series of rhythm patterns that you can use any time, and also knowing how to pick the strings as well as strum them. There are other skills that you learn along the way, but mastering these 3 will go a long way to achieving your goal of playing any beginner's song. In my next video, I want to address something I call effective practice. The next video will give you some of my top tips for improving your practice routine and navigating your way through online lessons. It really is important advice that you don't want to miss out on. So stay tuned, and in the meantime, feel free to use the comment box below to share your experiences with learning online. Do you sometimes feel stuck playing the same songs? Do you think you've got any bad playing habits? Maybe you've taken an online course in the past but didn't see any improvements. I'd love to know more about your online guitar learning experiences. So check your inbox in the next couple of days. I'll let you know when I finish the next video. Until next time, keep on playing.